Hey, what is going on, guys? This is SMEB Reviews, and today we are taking a look at the newest studio album from Willie Nelson titled Last Man Standing. Let's get to it. Willie Nelson is a folk, country, honky-tonk kind of artist, and he has been around for years. I believe his first album came out in 1962, I believe, and he has such a vast discography. One that I'm not really too familiar with. I definitely respect his work and have heard a couple songs, just not really explored it. That kind of country honky tonk sound has never really been my style. I do like it to an extent, but it was never my style. At this point in my life, I definitely have a lot more respect for it and really do like a lot of that vein of music. But at the time, I just never really. It was nothing I'd seek out over any of the other artists I really like. But this album, Last Man Standing, is a very optimistic view of the world, honestly. There's some sad moments, but his last album that came out 2017, God's Problem Child, I believe, it was a little more pessimistic. I mean, Willie Nelson is getting older. I believe he's either 82 or 83. And so he was commenting about like a lot of people around him leaving and he worrying about the same things. And it makes sense. And then this album, we get a really optimistic view. Last Man Standing sounds like it would be a much more negative album, but the title track is really talking about how he's happy that he was the last man standing, and he's actually doing well. It does talk about losing people around you, but he has an optimistic view of it, and that's a lot of this album. There's a lot of just optimistic views on the world. Through his aging, he has a lot of optimistic views, and though he recognizes like limitations in his aging, he's still happy. We've got songs that talk about just looking forward to getting to the end of the week, as a lot of blue collar workers would feel. He definitely tries to tap into that heartland Americana blue collar worker kind of appeal, and that's what he goes for, and he hammers it home. It's obvious that, I mean, he's Willie Nelson. It's not like he's really blue collar worker, but yet he does have that very genuine attitude about him that makes it believable. Yes, obviously he's been doing very well for a very long time, and while his day in the sun has faded, I can't imagine that he's working a day job. I'm sure he's still doing just fine, and but yet, like I said, he seems so genuine, and every time that he touches on those Americana sounds and really tries to focus on appealing to the blue collar worker, he does an excellent job. And this really does fit well with one of my favorite artists, Billy Joel, who is someone who really taps into that blue collar worker and seems to identify with that class well, even though he never was in it past his. I mean, Billy Joel, knowing his history, he definitely was for a while, but he has not been in that for quite a long period of time, not since the mid 70s at least. And so, yeah, Billy Joel's been successful, but yeah, he still does really appeal to that demographic. He knows how to tap into it, and it seems genuine. I never once have listened to it and felt like it's coming from a place of malintention or just trying to manipulate the listener. And I don't feel the same, or I feel the same way with Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson does an excellent job at taking that sound and sounding genuine. And now, as I don't know a ton of Willie Nelson's past, I don't really know if he was in that blue collar class for a long time or if at all. But he definitely taps into it well. And that is vital, because some people, it can sound rather condescending when that happens. When this rich person is trying to identify with you, the factory worker, the lumber mill person. I mean, it happens, and it can be very disingenuous. But listening to this through that scope, I don't feel that way. I honestly feel it's not condescending or anything. He honestly sounds very genuine, and I do really like this album. There are some bad moments, and it is a Willie Nelson album. I mean, it's definitely that sound. But for a guy who's 82 or 83, like I said, he's doing pretty good. I mean, the songs are kind of funny. I mean, he definitely has that lighthearted and joking sound in his voice, in his lyrics, and in the music. It's fun. It's uplifting. There are some slower tracks that are a little either sadder or just a little more thoughtful, and they work too. It just works well together. One song that I do have to mention as a bad track, though, is Bad Breath. it really just does not work. I mean, it's honestly just ultimately gross. He spends most of the song either just talking about his bad breath or someone else's, and sometimes food that made it bad. And yes, I get the point of the song. It's obviously saying at least you are breathing, whether it's bad, at least you're breathing and alive. And it's optimistic. It still has that optimistic feel. But it just is gross. There's something that just should not fit into a song and some boundaries that you have to set. And I feel like that song just kind of crossed it. It's not absolutely terrible musically or vocally. Honestly, take out the lyrics and change them up. It would have sounded pretty good. I think it was a decent track. That totally blew it. It's just not a fun one to listen to from any artist, and it just was not fun to listen to from him. Honestly, though, I do enjoy this album. With the exception of Bad Breath, I think all the songs are good. I mean, they're decent. Nothing that really is extremely amazing, but it's fun and it's lighthearted and it's joking, and I like it. I really don't have much to say negatively towards this album except for the one song. I actually did really like it. I think Willie Nelson still sounds actually really good for his age. I mean, it is impressive. And he does write some pretty funny lines at points. And so I like it. And yes, even I'm saying funny lines. Bad Breath obviously is supposed to be funny. But I feel like it crosses that boundary into just kind of gross. And that happens. And it's unfortunate, but it was a sore spot for the album. Besides that, I don't have any really good commentary to give. I think that kind of covers it all because it's just Willie Nelson doing that Americana heartland folk country sound, and it just works. I mean, it's a style that he's used before and continued to use through his career, and it works. I mean, it's good. I do like it. It's nothing amazing. It's not anything that I or many people will probably be rushing out to buy, but it's good. I do really like it, and that's why I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. What did you guys think of this album? Please let me know. Also, is there anything I can do to improve the quality and production of my videos? And any upcoming albums that you'd like me to check out, please let me know, and I will make a note of them. Besides that, thank you all so much for watching this video. It really does mean a lot, and I'll see you guys later.